So guys, we're at now one of my favorite morning spots. This is a great spot to sit here, a little bar and everything, have some coffee, talk to the fish. Well, you don't see any fish. It's kind of cool out last night, but there we go. Water's warmed up enough now that we got lots of fish activity. Not quite as aggressive as they are at night. At night, it looks like those piranha movies from the 70s, man, when you feed them. But, yeah. Happy fish. Nice clean water. Clarity of this water, guys. I've always said, if you're like, you need this kind of food, you know you need biology. One of the things we got going on in here that creates massive biology is cinder blocks. All these plants you see are sitting on cinder blocks and shelves made with ceramic tile, the kind of ceramic tile that makes it look like you have a wood floor. So we have towers of cinder blocks. You have two cinder blocks sitting side by side this way with the holes going this way. Then you have another two cinder blocks sitting this way with the holes going that way. And that does that, and they're stacked 3 or 4 high depending on how high I wanted to bring it up. That does a lot. One, it gives a lot of fish habitat. Everybody has little caves they can go in. And the guy that goes in this cave right here, the next cinder block, so we got one cinder block going this way, the next cinder block goes that way. So that way he's in his cave and he's in his cave, and they can't see each other, so they can't fight. We can do a lot higher stocking density because of that, because the fish get along. Because everybody has little places and hides that they can go to and claim as their own territory. And then when everybody's swimming in open water, everybody kind of is like, okay, this is a common area and this is my home, and everybody gets along a lot better. Fish fight, but overall they do pretty well like this. The big thing is, everybody freaked out when I did cinder blocks, but it's alkaline. It's gonna make your water. My water is way more alkaline than a cinder block, guys. It's the Southwest United States where everything's alkaline. Anyway, I have local fish. They live in alkaline water. They do not care. They have adapted to live in it, so everybody's happy. But the big thing is, you can see here's a half-size cinder block here. Cinder blocks are rough. They have all these little holes in them. And what you want with biology is you want lots of bacteria, beneficial bacteria, that convert nitrite to nitrate and complete that cycle for you. Well, I have just a massive bacterial colonies. Everybody thinks it's got to be in a filter. It doesn't always have to be in a filter. Massive bacterial colonies through all of this. This water's constantly moving. It's circulating because of the overflow spray bar. It's circulating because of the water that comes through the wicking beds. So since that water moves, water touches bacteria, bacteria does its job, everybody's happy. Some things we learned though, number one, I do not like, I've talked about this before, I really do not like these big beds up on here. But what I'm gonna do this year, I think I've finally made the call on which ones are gonna go. That one's definitely going, because that was an ebb and flow bed like aquaponics, and I made a horrible mistake and I put some sweet potato slips in there last year. That thing, let me show you, it's actually built soil. The root net got so extensive in it that this is 1 year's worth of, look, it's built. That's soil. That's like beautiful, you know, Delta River soil that got built in this bed. So we'll definitely use it somewhere, but this bed needs to go. This one's gonna go. That one's doing really well. That's the one that's throwing ground nut. So I'm gonna leave that one. And what I think I'm gonna do is take this one off. That'll open up opposite corners, make this a lot more usable. Now the new pond we're gonna build, and remember this is about 1,500 gallons, and it's 8 foot by 8 foot by a little over 30 inches in actual depth. It's higher rail, but the actual depth's about 30 inches. The new one, we're gonna try to get 36 inches of actual depth, but we wanna get the rail down to about here, so it's a little bit more convenient, a little bit more, you know, able to be viewed with pleasing views. And we're gonna do that by digging into the ground as best we can. There's my hand off there. And the other thing that we wanna do is none of this. Maybe one just for the filter effect, but what I'm gonna do is take a 100-gallon version of this, at least one if not two, and sink them into the pond where the lip of the tank is about even with the rail of the pond. I'm gonna drill, and again, this is a 50-gallon, so you're talking about 2 foot deep. I'm gonna drill tons of holes in them. These are gonna be like fish kindergartens where minnows and guppies and things like that can live. If they go out, they can get eaten, but they can go back to hide. And that's going to be one really great thing about them. The other thing we'll be able to do, though, is put a bed of lava rock in the bottom of them and potted aquatic plants inside them. And then when we overflow water, we'll do what we're doing here. We'll have the water go into that and then disperse out. What that'll do is reduce the surface disturbance and make it easier to grow floating vegetation during our summers. And we like to get as much of the pond covered with surface vegetation in the summer as we can. It keeps light out, it keeps algae down, it keeps everybody happy. People are like, but don't you want lots of surface agitation? Doesn't that really help? It does, but you only need so much, especially when you have this much water. It's very, very resilient. So we can have one system like this doing that, and what we can do is we can have that displaced into another container like this, so that it's agitating the water and that's getting oxygen through the whole system. But again, it gives us a nice calm surface, lots of water lettuce and water hyacinth and stuff like that. Now I did recently dump about a half of a 5-gallon bucket full of duckweed and salvinia in here. And as you can see, there is none. And a little bit of water lettuce starting to come along. That's because the goldfish love that stuff and they ate it all. Ate it right, I mean, it was 2 days ago, that whole thing was full of duckweed. So yeah, this is where we're at. Again, lots of stuff growing here. We'll grow water spinach there, more water celery that we had in earlier videos today, over there in the corner, green onions, got some mint there. You know, it doesn't everything have to be edible. We got some water irises coming up there. Swiss chard in that one bed. Lots of, this thing is just loaded with ground nut. Again, some Swiss chard. Yeah, it's about time to give up on that kale, isn't it? We plucked leaves off that kale for years, a year. And we finally gotten to a point now where it's all going to seed. And I just thought it'd be good to let it go to seed and, you know, feed the pollinators, bring them in. But we'll go ahead and probably, like I said, we're probably gonna take this one and this one off of the tank. I might go ahead and take that one too and just leave this guy here for this year. I really don't have another place for the ground nuts just yet, and they do so well here, I don't want to take them away. But I'd much rather clear these off and make this more of a hangout. And I think the new pond is going to really show what we've learned from this. I will let you know, I do still have 2 seats available to the workshop that I believe is April 26th is the starting date of it. It's a 2-day workshop, $300, camp out on the property and stuff like that. That's going to take place right over there. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below and I'll tell you how to sign up. I had a couple people, I actually sold out, but I had a couple people cancel. So a couple canceled, so I got 2 seats. Anyway, with that, hope you enjoyed today's videos. 3 in 1 day, don't get too spoiled. We can't always do that. Say hello to the fish. We'll catch you later.